Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in today's news. Heavy rain warning, museum menu of things to do, our athletic kids excel, and more. Batten down as heavy rain has been forecasted for the region for Wednesday morning and is expected to ease Thursday morning. In the 24 hours from 9 a.m. Wednesday to 9 a.m. Thursday, expect 250 to 350 millimetres to accumulate about the northwestern ranges. 150 to 200 millimetres about the Richmond range and 90 to 140 millimetres elsewhere. Intensities may reach about 30 millimetres per hour at times about the northwest ranges. The flow is expected to be from the north-northeast. It seems one of our Nelson City Councillors has thrown his hat into the mayoralty race. City Councillor and Nelson businessman Pete Rainey announced this week that he is putting his name forward for the Nelson mayoralty at this year's local body elections in October. Councillor Rainey, who is in his third term on the council, said he will be running only for the mayoralty and not standing for the City Council. Local forest and bird lady Debs Martin came into our studio today to talk about the government's intention to helicopter survey areas containing some of our delicate ecosystems with their mineral finding spotlight, with an aim for possible future mining by foreign-owned oil and gas exploration companies. Debs, we've had this helicopter going around this month doing the geological survey. It seems a little bit weird for me to be doing this mapping of all of these very pristine and important areas. So I thought I'd get you to ask your opinion on this survey that's going on.
Yeah, thanks, Graham. You're right. I mean, we've got the petroleum and mineral industry that are surveying our areas of the highest biological diversity in the whole of Nelson. We've just put $6 million into protecting some of Nelson's high priority diversity over the next 10 years, and number one on that list is the mineral belt, the ultramafics. I mean, that area is rich in minerals, absolutely, but it's also, because of that richness in mineral, it's also a home that's rich to a whole unique biodiversity in Nelson area, and in fact is really important biodiversity nationally as well.
I mean, once they do this survey, and we're doing this survey for the overseas mining companies, from what I understand, I mean, they must go bananas when they look at this sort of map of all of these minerals just lying around on top of the ground.
Well, essentially we're subsidising, we're subsidising the work that they would have to do. We're providing a map of all our minerals to people to then pick up and come along and say, yeah, let's go for it. And I mean, let's face it, the organisation that's doing all of this is totally focused on the mining and extraction of our minerals in New Zealand. I mean, they lead the coal permits, they lead the deep sea oil drilling, they're leading all of that mineral extraction in New Zealand. They are not focused at all on the biodiversity values. Now, if they're going out there and mapping it, what that is going to be then is available on their website for all of these international companies to then pick up and go, gosh, look at all of that stuff that's right there. All of this work's being done for me. Thank you, New Zealand taxpayer, for doing that work for me. I'll come in now and maybe, I'll try and see if I can get a minerals permit. And then they come in to Nelson, and what a waste of time, because we're going to turn around and say, actually, guys, we've been doing a heck of a lot of work and invested more money and people hours in terms of protecting this kind of area. So it's running in for a kind of, collision course, really, where you've got these two things are happening. Some people will say that, well, it's really good to know what's there. Well, it is kind of good to know what's there, but to be honest, we already know what the geological area of that is. To do this kind of detailed mapping is actually just putting information in the hand of mining companies.
And then are we going to run into that with all the new changes to the RMA laws, that we won't have the voice in our community anymore to stop some of these mining or building houses or whatever going on in our community?
Well, I hope that anybody that actually supports any changes that would stop our voices when we put such an investment would do something about it, stand up, whether or not they say to the government we don't want these changes, or they determine that that's not the government that they want anymore. I mean, our right to actually be overridden in terms of law changes and those kinds of things will be a real challenge to us, and it certainly has been happening overseas, and we see that happening here with continual undermining of our democracy and so many law changes. But I think if you get to Nelson and you say, well, we're just going to kind of suppress any argument about what can help on the mineral belt when we've been putting so much effort into being there, I think you'll find an outcry.
Yeah,
and a
sure.
rightful one too.
And when you're talking about the protection of Nelson, you're not talking just about forest and bird here. You're talking about Nelson City Council putting money into the Nelson Nature program?
That's right. So Nelson Nature, it arose out of work that the Biodiversity Forum had done, and that has 28 organisations that belong to it and a lot of commitment by individuals, ranging from Nelson City Council to the Department of Conservation, Federated Farmers are there, Forestry Industries, and of course Forest and Bird is there as well. And we made some decisions around what are the most important ecological values in the whole of Nelson. That mineral belt came up top.
It's going to be a busy weekend with events like the Mapua Easter Fair, among others, taking place around the region. The Easter Fun Run is on this Friday, and all proceeds raised will be going to the Junior Athletics Travel Fund to the upcoming Nationals. I caught up with athletics coach Greg Lawton-Slugger to find out more about the achievements of our youth in the National Academy of Distance Running based here in Nelson. Greg, I went to do a story on the Easter 10k run, and as I got passed down the line, I got past you, but it seems that you're the man to talk to because you're the one with all the successes and seem to be getting all the money. So can you fill us a little bit more in on the athletics in Nelson?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny because we don't, my runners don't actually do the race because it's during our athletic season. So, but we do out there. We're out there to Marshall, and what they do, all the proceeds from the race go into travel for us. So, I mean, this is kind of an example of what Athletics Nelson does for us. They've always been there to help us and support us, and so I mean that's just an indication of what they do. I mean they help pay the entry fees through a lot of the Nelson Half Marathon, which is their big meet, which is going to be here at this track on May 1st is when they have that event. But they do so much for us. You know, it all started, I mean, from about the second day in town. I mean, I moved to Nelson, and I went to a Athletics Nelson club night, and I met Barry Hunt there, and he was a very instrumental in the club, and from there I got into coaching, and they invited me out to coach, and I think there wasn't much here when I was there as far as running, but that first year we won. One medal. The next year was 5. The next year was 10. The next year was 19. The next year was 38. So I mean, it got better and better as it went along. Been very fortunate to have some really fine athletes here, and been able to motivate them and help them out. So I mean, it's really kind of blown up. That now we have 258 medals. Wow. So it's been a very successful program, and of those athletes, we've won. There's been 29 individual titles and 2 national records. And 14 athletes have won U.S. scholarships. Those are full scholarships to U.S. universities, and the total is probably more than $3 million a year. So you know, it's been a very successful program over the years, and we're had a very successful season this last year. We're just now finishing our athletic season, and some of the athletes are getting 2 weeks off and then gearing up for the cross country season. So we had a very good season this year, and we think we have some really good athletes coming up and getting more scholarships, more national medals, more records. So more the merrier, I guess.
Well, the successes certainly speak for themselves. And so when you say you got into coaching, obviously it wasn't something new to you. Had you done that before? Obviously, with your accent, you're a bit of an import.
I've actually been in the sport now for about 40 years. I started when I was their age, when I was 14 years old, and it wasn't very good when I started. In fact, I think the first meet I was like 78th out of 83 people, and I think they're closing up the line when I got done. I got beat by girls, I think. But by the end of the year, I had a very inspirational coach. My first year, by the name of Brent Thorne in high school, and I went from there to by the end of the year I was one of the best runners in the city, and by the end of my high school career I won a state title. Went on and I got a and then went on to, and I got a scholarship to Texas Tech University, and then became one of the best runners in the world. Really, I competed in 4 U.S. Olympic track and field trials, and I once beat the Olympic champion in a race in Switzerland, the 5,000 meters, and ranked 28th in the world in the 10,000 meters, and almost made the Olympic team. So I was like you, Graham. I got into journalism, and that was my thing. When I finished with running, I wanted to be a journalist, and I worked for several newspapers, and I worked for the Dallas Morning News, which is a big paper, and did that for several years. And then, but then I figured out that if I've learned all this stuff from so many great coaches like Brent Thorne and Dick Quacks and Bob Seveny and Robert Vaughn, all these great coaches, and I actually knew Arthur Lydiard. I used to go over. I used to live 1K from Peter Snell. I'd go over to his house when Arthur came into town. We sit around and talk about training. So I had all this knowledge in my head, and I figured out that if I didn't use that knowledge to help other athletes, then it was a waste. So I started coaching a summer running program in Dallas, Texas, and then 3 of the athletes there, they ran for the University of North Texas, and they coached and invited me to coach their team, which I did. So I did that for 4 years, and we had a lot of, and it was very easy for me because I knew the sport so well. And then immediately we had personal bests all over the team and won conference titles. And so when we moved here, my wife Debbie, she competed in the Commonwealth Games in 1986. So we decided to move here, and so I just didn't want to be a slough. I didn't want to slough off the beautiful country of yours, and I wanted to be able to help people. So a couple of days in town, I met Barry and some of the people at the Waimea Harriers also, and immediately they got me into coaching, and the rest is history pretty much. So
yeah, well, that's fantastic, and they're certainly lucky to have you here, and the kids are great to have. It's fantastic to have such a good motivated coach.
Well, and one of the things too, I mean, is the climate. I mean, look at where we train. I mean, we have hills. We run up these hills in the forests, and I mean, I've trained all over the world. I've never seen any place like this. In the climate, we really have to run, and we rarely run anything other than t-shirt and shorts. So I mean, it's just a great place to train, and but it's still quite a battle because there's so many sports here. I mean, you have football, and you've got basketball and rugby and netball, and it goes on and on with water sports. So trying to keep kids motivated and have them go out there and run, for an hour and a half it's quite a challenge to get them from the point actually where I started to kind of following my path. So, but and also one of the boys that first came out when I started coaching here, Julian Matthews, he finished 16th this last year. Well, he went on to run at Providence College, and then and he stayed over in the U.S. training, and he finished 16th last year in the World Track and Field Championships in Beijing, and he's 1 second away from qualifying for the Rio Olympic Games. Wow. So he started here as a 14-year-old kid, and worked his way up, and now he's one of the best in the world. So I mean, it can happen. And his little brother, who's 15 years old, he's now in my program and following the same path.
If you're keen to be part of the Easter Fun Run, we have those details up for you in our public notices at the end of today's bulletin. Freedom camping is firmly in the headlights of local and central government. John Key has recently stated that the government will consider providing financial aid to small communities that are hosting increasing numbers of visitors. And in response, Tasman District Mayor Richard Kempthorne has welcomed the offer of government's assistance to councils to deal with the issues of freedom camping. The Mayor says this is the first step towards the development of a national solution. He said council must be careful not to throw the baby out with the bathwater and must, however, have a fairer, locally applicable response to what is becoming a worrying situation for councils in the current climate, fed by the worst stories, including the use of inappropriate and offensive slogans on camper vans. As tourism is such an important economic sector which relies on the country's natural beauty, Mayor Kempthorne said with growing visitor numbers, the sooner councils have a clear legislative lead to make the appropriate regulations, the better. Now's a good time to take a hands-on journey at the Nelson Provincial Museum to find out how and why things need to measure up. The new Vital Statistics exhibition explores the quest for accurate measurement in trade and technology, and the resulting global standardisation of things such as weights and distances. Chrissy Small went to the Nelson Provincial Museum to find out about this exhibition and more with museum CEO Lucinda Blackley-Jimson.
Lucinda, tell us what kind of exhibition we've got here.
Right, Vital Statistics is a hands-on, exciting exhibition for kids, and it's all about measuring. It involves lots of fun activities like weighing things, doing some estimating, scales, lots of fascinating things about how we use maths in everyday life.
Well, and I guess, this must come from the background of our age group, where these things were quite kind of common, the old scales and measurements, and of course it's all in decimal currency, I guess, in that age bracket. So for kids it'll be fascinating, for their parents, well, they've been there, done that.
Yeah, absolutely. So much of what kids use today is digital, but this is really looking about those hard measures and how we used to do things, and what their parents would have used and what you and I would have used when we were young.
Yeah. So it's a great walk down memory lane for a lot of the parents if they come along.
Absolutely. We've got some lovely old weights there. It's just a joy to pick those up and just feel how heavy they are, and to remember what that measuring is all about.
Right. So who put this exhibition together?
This was a couple of contractors from the museum, Imogen and Stephen McCarthy, and they were former educators here. So they've done a fantastic job.
Oh, that's great. And how long did it take them to actually get everything together?
Well, as in all exhibitions, most of the work goes on behind the scenes, and the trick is to make it look effortless in a lot of ways. So they were working, I think, on this for around 6 months.
Great. Now, look, obviously you've got a few artists in the crew there, because there's some fantastic displays here for the kids to see. Now, I guess it's not just children that will be coming along here, is it?
No, absolutely. It's a really key exhibition for educators who are doing really fantastic programs with schools, but it's also a lot of fun for the adults to pop in and really have hands-on experience with that older technology, I suppose.
Yeah. Now, of course, this isn't the only thing that's going on here at the museum. Tell us what else people have in store. When they come here, they can spend a whole day here easily, couldn't they, really?
Oh, definitely. So we've also got the Nelson Mail exhibition on, which is celebrating 150 years of their publishing history, and we've got a close relationship with them in terms of our photographic archives. So we've also got some fabulous old printing presses and things out from both our collection and the Founders collection that are on show. So that's a really great one to have a look at. And we'll be running some great holiday programs over the April school holidays around that for kids to come in and do some fun stuff of creating their own newspaper.
Oh, that sounds marvellous. It's not just the kids either. Maybe some of us adults might come along as well.
It should be pretty fun.
Now, okay, and we've got the long-running World War I exhibition, but there's going to be some changes.
There will be some changes. We have a fantastic exhibition called by Helen Pollock, who's a New Zealand artist, very noted one, and that installation is around World War I. That's going to be opening in a couple of weeks, and that's called Victory Medal.
Right.
So that will be very special, and a really fantastic art piece, and a very moving one to come along and visit. We'll be changing out our World War I exhibition, so currently we've been focusing on 1914 and 15. We'll be deinstalling those exhibitions, so pop along if you hadn't had a chance to see them. And in June we'll be opening a new segment of that show about 1916.
Now, this is free for people to come and see, so there's no excuses, is there?
Absolutely free for Nelson and Tasman residents.
Yeah. Well, Lucinda, look, I'm sure you've been hard at it just since you're taking over from Peter's big shoes. And how's it all going for you?
Oh, really fantastic. We've got a really great, inspired and engaged team here who are coming up with some fantastic ideas for exhibitions and for public programs as well. We're involved in Heritage Week, so we've got a couple of exciting things going on there. The tape art will be taking over our windows for a few days in April. We've got some gallery talks and screening from the film archive. And then we'll be having some quite exciting programs over the school holidays with more to come.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Hi there, Julian Toon, Waimea Telecommunications. We install and maintain domestic and commercial satellite TV, UHF Freeview and Mainland TV installations in the Nelson, Tasman regions. We specialise in Panasonic telephone systems and provide communications Wi-Fi, IT and wiring for internet, fibre, computers and DSL systems. At Waimea Telecommunications, we also provide specialist electronic systems for features such as a security camera you can watch on your TV, visitor alert systems and much more. Improve your security and communication and entertainment today. Call us on Waimea Telecommunications on 021 472297, ytel.co.nz.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
Sit and Be Fit is on at the Victory Community Centre Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the Victory Community Church, 238 Upper Vanguard Street. School terms only. Fun while you get fitter, work at your level. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Hi, I'm Paul Mainland and you're watching Ego TV, or something along those lines.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Christchurch's top 10 holiday park, situated on 5 hectares of beautiful park-like settings. Only 5 kilometres from Christchurch town centre. 10 minutes from Christchurch International Airport and minutes away from Northlands Mall and all its facilities, including a 24-hour supermarket. And just across the road is a great variety of restaurants to choose from. Christchurch Top 10 Holiday Park has been a family-owned business for over 40 years and a proud member of the Top 10 Holiday Park Group, New Zealand's premier holiday parks chain. Our Top 10 Holiday Park is world-renowned as a family park and provides a wide range of facilities such as a heated swimming pool, bike hire, free barbecues, a jumping pillow, trampolines, a family games and TV room, and wireless internet. Accommodation options cater for a wide variety to suit all needs, from tent and camper van sites to family, luxury and corporate motels. And to make life easy for wary travellers, we even have a drive-through camper van check-in. At our Top 10 Holiday Park, we even provide housing solutions for earthquake-damaged houses and help with insurance approval. Come visit the Christchurch Top 10 Holiday Park, one of New Zealand's premier holiday parks, and experience all that Canterbury and Christchurch have to offer, right on our doorstep. Christchurch's amazing Top 10 Holiday Park. Top experience, always.
Meadow Park, located on Cranford Street near the main North Road, Christchurch.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
Today's the day when all the wrongs get put right. Back in their place, when everything was so tight. I'll shout it from the highest heights. I'll paint it in the sky, then the sun is gonna shine. So I say, have a nice day now. Your colors are now bright, so have a good day. You lost your way, your life was in black and white. At the rainbow's end, you found the strength there to fight. I'll shout it from the highest heights. I'll paint it in the sky, then the sun is gonna shine. So I say, have a nice day now. Yeah. All over the world tonight, your colors are now bright. So have a good day. So I say, have a nice day now. Yeah. All over the world tonight, your colors are now bright. So have a good day. You can fly. You can fly. Fly. So I say, have a nice day now. Yeah. All over the world tonight, your colors are now bright. So have a good day. So I say, have a nice day now. Yeah. All over the world tonight, your colors are now bright. So have a good day.
Hi, I'm John Crouch. I'm Crafer Crouch Construction. We're general contractors here. We specialise in drainage, earthworks, concrete, gravel supplies. We have our own mobile crushers. So for all your contract requirements, call us on 5783 475 Blenheim or in 5736 119 Picton.